Experimenting with types of relationships and how easy it was with sex, for example. I come from a pretty conservative background, with my dad being a deacon, and my parents, they were in a pretty conventional relationship. There was a taboo around sex as well, and we wouldn't talk about it within the family, which I think still is pretty sad, but there wasn't much room for that. But once I came to Berlin, I started to go to the clubs, and I noticed how all of these topics, they were way more free than I was used to. And I was interested in exploring that. Combined with the fact that I was on drugs every weekend, I first really enjoyed this period. All new experience, from meeting new people, having the possibility of having sex in a club. It all felt really exciting and enjoyable. Though after the first 2 years in Berlin, I also started to notice that although I liked having that lifestyle, it started to bring conflict with myself. Although I'm a cute looking bad boy, to be fair, I care a lot about my friends and the people that I meet. I would like to develop close relationships with them if I decide to invest time in someone. And I really noticed that in Berlin that wasn't really the case. Sometimes that happened, but not as often or not as close as how I would like it to be. But in Berlin it's often about taking things lightly, and it didn't really give me the opportunity getting close with someone, as I was always on the go. Going out alone, and well, yeah, if I was always in the weekend on drugs and in clubs, during the week I was tired, so there was no room as well to really develop a good relationship with someone. Once I started that I calmed down from clubbing and took a step back from all of that, then I just noticed what I missed in my life. And although this period gave me a lot of joy, I was able to experiment with things that I did not have any experience with. At the end of the day, it wasn't who I am. It wasn't who I was. And it got really confusing for me, and I missed out on, for example, having the possibility of being able to be close with someone. And that doesn't mean that clubs and drugs can't be part of that life, but not really to the extent as how often I was going and how often I was high. Because take into account, like, yeah, if you're on drugs, it's always fun. But if you do that every weekend and you're not really developing close relationships with people, that is really a downside from it, at least for me.